Good evening, StreamYard and YouTube fans. Yes, I know I just finished the Kentucky Speedway race. Device not connected. Oh. Hey, good to see you, Chris.
Hi.
I
How's it going, man?
all right. I just finished my race like 10 minutes ago. But I'm what I'm gonna do
Yeah,
is
I saw that you had sent me something over an hour ago, so
yeah,
yeah.
well no, that's hey, I understand that.
That's alright.
What I'm gonna do is I know this one's near and dear to your heart. I'm gonna do
The
15
Monster
laps. Yeah, I'm gonna do 15 laps of Dover, and I haven't had a chance to change my race set. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to let's see.
I'm
What
the
I'm gonna
board, but
do
I
is
got a
I'm
better
just
idea. How about we just run some drills?
okay. That sounds cool. I mean, I just
Just
hadn't,
run
and
some
I
drills
figured
to
I
get
just
stuck in the head.
okay. That's cool. Then I'll just flip over to me. Yours was the first
Yeah.
video that I saw that actually explained duels in a way that I could understand it. As
Well, that's
far
cool.
far
I'm
as
glad that I was able to help. That's cool.
instead of basically instead of uh, uh, doing the pedal to the metal like Rob's. It was the first one that I showed that it explained how how it worked and stuff.
Yeah.
The thing I'm not
Well,
sure
I'll
about
tell you
one of
what we're going to do.
okay.
Go ahead.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I'm thinking we pick the bottom group, and we're
uh
just going to go through each one. You're going to roll a red gas check and nothing else.
okay. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Um. Well, my last person is Joey Gage, and I rolled 5, and he has 2, so that's a fail. Nadu needs 3 or less, and he got 6. That's a fail.
Mm-hmm.
Montoya needed 3, and he got 2, so he passed.
Okay.
Burton got 1, and he needed 4. Goffin needs 4, and he got a 3, so he just passed. Marlin got 6, so he automatically failed. Larson automatically won because he got a 1, and he needed 5. Dave Ruderman got a 4, so he failed his. Elliott failed his. He had 5, but it was rolled a 6. Chris, yours is 3, and it was a 4, so you failed. Keith Avalon, he passed. He needed a 3, and he got 2. Tyler Reddick lost his because it's a 6, and he needed a 3 or less. Jeff Green, he passed, got 3 or less. Craven lost. He needed 3, and it was 6. Steve Parks got a 1, so that was a pass. Darla needs 3, and she got 5, so she failed. Scott, he got a 4 and needed a 3, so he failed. Dale Earnhardt got 3, and he needed 5, so he passed. Kenny Schrader has 4, and he has 4 gas, and he got a 2, so he passed his. Jeremy Mayfield has 3, and need 3, so he passed his. Smythley has 2, and he got 2, so he passed. Skinner, he got a 1 and needed 3 or less. Austin Dillon, 4, but he has 3, so he failed his. And Ross Chaston just passed his with a 3, because that's what he needed for his gas.
Okay, now for the next part of the drill. We're going to roll the red and the white die. You're going to start with you're going to do the top half of the bottom group, which is that bottom line of the 2, and then also the middle group. You're going to check for whether they passed a gas pedal, and then also which driver they are challenging. We're not rolling the blue die. We're just working in identifying the drivers.
So I start with the first group
start
first?
with... No, start with the bottom group, but just do the upper half of the bottom group. Don't do the top row, do the second row. And then do the middle group also.
Okay. So I'll start at 31 here.
Perfect.
That's 4. He fails his gas check. Ricky Craven fails his. Steve Parks fails his. Darla passes her gas check, and she would be going after position 1, which would be Jimmy Johnson.
Was that even or odd?
It's odd.
And Jimmy Johnson's the odd driver?
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson's the odd driver.
Okay, cool. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay, let's see. D. Scott doesn't pass. Dale Earnhardt has 5. He got a 4. That's a pass. He'd be going after number 5. It's even. That would mean he'd be going after Dave Little.
Okay.
Kenny Schrader, it's 6, so he doesn't pass the first part of that challenge. Jeremy Mayfield does pass. He'd be going after David Little, and because it's 5 and it's even, and David Little's the even guy, so he'd be going after David Little. Smythley, he passes his check. He got a 1, and he'd be going after Jimmy Johnson, and that is odd because 1 is odd, which means he'd be going after Elliott Sadler.
Right.
Skinner passes his check. He'd be going after Rob's section, and he'd be going after Rob because that's an odd number. No, I'm sorry. He'd be going after Amarillo. That's 13. Rob would be the even guy. Okay. Dylan passed his check. He'd be going after 3, which would be Rob and Amarillo. It's an even, which means he'd be going after Rob. Ross Chaston, he'd be 3. He'd be going after Rob and Amarillo, and he'd be going after Rob as well because Rob's the even guy.
Okay. Now let's do everyone. We're just going to roll the blue die only. Let's do everyone in the middle and the top groups and run control and see if they're able to defend against a blue die.
Okay.
So we're just running everybody that has control.
Okay, Suarez. I got 1 on the dice, and I'm not sure in the top group which person I'm looking for. Is that the leader or just what?
No, I just want to see if the driver that you're rolling for can defend against a die. We're not worried about going after a driver. We're doing pure defense now. That's all the
Okay.
blue die does.
So
So
basically,
can that driver defend against a 1?
because he has control, he defends against it, right?
Cool. Perfect. Yep. Keep going, everybody in the middle and top groups that has
Okay.
control.
That's Steinhaus. That's 2. He only has control. He doesn't have any other breaks, so that's a no.
Okay, so he would fail. All right.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Dave Little. It's a 3, and he only has control, so he would fail as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, because it's above his 1 bonus.
Okay. Our next control is Denny Hamlin. He has control and he has 2 brake pedals, so he would pass, right?
What did he roll?
He rolled a 3.
So that is his defense or less. So yes, that passes. He defended.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amarillo has control, and he has 2, and he doesn't have any brake pedals, so he would fail on that then.
Yep.
Okay,
Now, even if nobody has control and no one has brake pedals, they still automatically get a 1. Someone has to roll. No, they don't automatically get a 1. That's just a 6. So yeah, even if it's a 1, if they have no defense, they're out of there. Okay.
Yeah, but
so it's right.
being as he has control, he automatically gets 1.
Gets 1, so it would need to be 2.
Yeah, it would have to be 2 or more.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't see that. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Rob got control, and his roll is 5, and that's all he has, so that's a no for Rob.
Mm-hmm.
John Andretti has control. I rolled a 1, so he would pass. And our last one with control is Jimmy Johnson, and that's a 6. All he has is control, so he would automatically fail.
Mm-hmm. Okay. To do the entire bottom group and as heat, roll all 3 dice, and let's do it like a normal quality check.
Do you want me to just do like the 31 to 20 like we did the last time?
Nah, do the whole thing. It'll get a few of them in there. Yeah, run the heat quality.
Okay, Joey Gas.
I'm going to say there's not going to be that many of them, so run heat the whole way through the game board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joey Gas got a 3. He failed his speech, basically his gas check. The next one would be Pablo Montoya. He got 2, so he passes his check. The next would be a 5, right, which would say that he's going after. And since the red is even, an even number, he'd be going after David Little in the middle group, and he has 1. So he basically would pass because he has the heat and he has 1 break. So that would be 2. So he would pass.
Yep, exactly. So he stays put. Yep.
No, that wouldn't he move up? Dave Little would move back.
Okay, I don't. You say he has 1 and he has 2, so I don't know what you mean. You're saying the same thing with 2 different numbers.
Oh, I was referring. He had. I have to re-roll it. Well, no, but what I think
you said you rolled a 2.
Yeah.
I think.
So he being Montoya has heat, and he also has a brake pedal, an asterisk star, but David Little has nothing, so he would move in Dave's spot.
Okay, you don't. Brake pedals matter nothing for the challenging driver. On defense only. Defense
so basically,
only. So
the guy would have to have heat, and that's it.
Okay, yeah. In order to challenge, he only has to have heat. In order to defend against a blue die, you count if he has the quality, you count how many brake pedals he has, and you count how many bonuses depending on what group he's in.
Okay. Let's see
And
who's in
those
it.
little star bursts only matter for defense. It has absolutely nothing to do, never, with the challenging driver.
Okay.
Only defense.
Jeremy Mayfield is the next person with heat.
Mm-hmm.
He passes his gas check. He'd be going after Rob, and the blue die is 5. And Rob doesn't have heat at all, so that person would move forward.
Yep. But you don't have to move them around if you don't want to. We're just drilling is all.
I'm just trying to figure out where I'm at. I think my next person with heat is Darla. She fails her gas check. She needed 3 or less. After that comes Jeremy Mayfield. He passes his gas check. He'd be going after number 5, which would be Dave Little, but he'd be going after the odd person in 5, which would be Ricky Steinhaus Jr. And that's blue die is 6, so that means that he would automatically win that check.
Yep, blue 6 automatically gets it. Awesome. Cool.
And then my next person with heat would be Suarez in the middle group.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a 5. He fails his gas check.
Okay.
Steinhaus Jr., he passes his gas check. He'd be going after Quinn Hoff in the top group. And he has 4 on the blue dice. So he would fail that because he would fail, but he has a star, so he could roll again.
What do you mean roll? Oh, okay, with quality. Got you. Yep. Second try.
Second try, and he would lose on the second try because he fails the gas check.
Okay.
And the last one with heat in the middle group would be Jimmy Johnson, and he would pass his gas, and he'd be going after Clint Boyer, and he would automatically win because it's a 6.
Cool.
In our top group, OG would be the next one, and he would fail because he didn't pass his gas.
All right.
And the last one with the heat is Clint Boyer. And he passes his gas, and the blue die is 2, and Kevin Harvick has the 2 brake bonus and 2 brake bonus on his car, so he has 4, so he would lose.
Correct. Sounds like you got the red, white, and blue down pretty good, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, sometimes when I'm actually doing it, it's like, well, does this guy pass or doesn't he pass?
Yep.
I do have problems with that because sometimes I'll get it right and sometimes I won't.
Don't worry about getting it right or getting it wrong. Just worry about learning it and playing it and having fun.
Right. Yeah.
Let's do problem is easy enough. When problem comes up, you roll to identify the driver and then you roll on the problem card to see what the problem is. So that's easy enough, right? Let's try trouble real quick.
I did want to.
Oh, go ahead.
I did want to notice something. Like on the with the problem on the middle third and the final third, if you have an E grade in the middle third, you automatically lose because it has a dash. That's correct.
Okay, you're looking on the back of the card. You need to look on the front of the card where the driver finder is for the regular problem and the rare problem.
Well, right. But what I'm saying, when you're rolling for it, okay,
Mm-hmm.
say Boyer is the person with the problem, but instead of being a C, he's a grade E. Well, if it's the second
Yeah.
third of the race and he's an E driver, he's automatically put to the possible out of the race list.
Because I don't have it in front of me, so I'm not reading it. Give me a second. I'll go get my stuff. I'll be right back. That way I can read along, see what you're looking at. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Festus.
Hey, Festus, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see Steve. We're just running some basic red, white, and blue racing drills, pretty much trying to get me acclimated to rolling the dice better and determining outcomes and stuff like that. I mean, I already raced Kentucky Speedway today, and I think my next race will be Dover. And I'm just going to do what Rob does and just make it 15. Oh, you're both? That's funny. I didn't know you were both.
All right, I'm back. So let me get that card out real quick.
That's that's the card B, I think is what it is. Where it says repairs and
Oh, so you're looking at the repair. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get that. Yeah, so anything that has double dashes next to it, if they are affected by problem, they are out of the race. They have no opportunity to repair.
Oh,
Their pit crew
okay.
is not that good that late in the race.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought that meant. Is basically,
Yep, that is.
Yeah. And with regards to the trouble, what you roll, and if it's first third, an A guy would have to get 11 or less. So basically, the only way he's out is if he gets box cars. And then and that's for escape first, and then you do the pit crew check. And if he passes that, then he would stay in. But if he doesn't,
moves to the back.
Yeah, well, wouldn't he? If they can't repair it, he's out of the race.
If he can't repair it, he's out of the race. But if he can't escape, he is collected. If they can repair it, he just moves to the back of the line.
Right. But that's basically, you collect all the cards first, and then you would have to do the repair check after that.
You can do it however you like. I do it when I have the card in hand. Cycle through the cards. If they fail their escape, I roll their repair right on the spot.
Now,
then either I put them in the back or put them in the out pile.
When you're rolling,
that's how I do it.
When you're rolling for repair and it's a trouble thing, does that mean then the second roll is for like the problem, and you go by the problem chart?
Trouble and problem are completely separate.
Oh, they're completely separate.
Trouble. When it says trouble, you're doing only trouble. When it says problem, you're doing only problem.
Okay.
And you go to the repair rolls for whether it's trouble or problem. They're totally separate.
So basically, if you pass the trouble check, you basically move to the back of the group. You're not out. But if you fail
Right.
on the problem, you're out.
If you fail on trouble, you're out. But you're confusing. You're putting trouble and problem together. You
Yeah.
don't
Okay.
roll on both of these charts. You don't roll. If they have trouble and they don't escape, you roll here. If they fail it, they're out. If they
Oh,
pass
okay.
it, they go to the back of the pack. If you have problem,
Let's
you
see.
roll here. If they pass it, they're in the back of the pack. If they fail it, they're out.
So the first thing
But
you
if
have
you
to,
have problem, if you have trouble, you're only doing that right there and nothing else. If you
so
have problem, you're only doing that right there and nothing else.
if I'm checking for trouble, the first thing I'm checking for is escape, right?
Correct.
And
And
then
you're starting at the top of the group and working your way down.
right. So I first check escape,
Hmm.
and then
So let's do that for the bottom group real quick,
okay. All right.
just to determine if they can escape, and then if they can't escape, if they are able to repair. So let's just do it for the bottom group. Start at the top and work your way down.
Okay.
So escape first.
So if I, is it okay to roll it all at once, or do you just you know?
If it saves time for you, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you're consistent and you use the same dice for it, it's fine to
Okay.
roll them both at the same time. However,
So
whatever's easiest for you.
escape for Joey Gage is 6, and he rolled a 10, so he would be
He needs
then
to
I'd
make a
have
repair roll.
then I'd have to do a repair roll. His
Hmm.
repair roll is 2, so he would be out of the race.
No, that's any number and less.
Yeah, but he got a 7.
Okay, you just said that he rolled a 2 for his repair.
Well, okay, wait a minute. I did the escape. Now, if I roll a 9 and his fast pit is 2, that means he's out.
No, 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 not fast pit. You are looking at trouble. You're doing escape on the card and then trouble on this table right here.
Oh, okay, okay.
Fast
I
pit is
see.
fast pit. Yeah,
Okay,
fast pit is fast pit. That says nothing about trouble or
so
anything.
you're doing escape first, and then you're checking the trouble chart.
Yep, escape and trouble are the two rolls you make. The second one, if needed, for each driver in a group where trouble is the race cam result.
So him being a D player and rolling a 9,
And we'll go
uh,
with first, third.
if he would be out then.
Yep, he would be out of the race.
He
So
would
now
be
you
out.
go to the next driver. Now, since one has been collected, you have caution.
Yeah, right. Meaning
Yep,
that the next next turn is nothing happens.
right. Yellow
Um,
flag turn, yep.
Jeremy needed a 7 to escape, and that's what he got.
Okay, so he's fine. He would stay in his position.
Right. Uh, one Pablo Montoya needed an 8, and he got an 11. And he is a B driver, which means in the first third he needs a 10 or less.
Yep,
And he got 7, so he stays in.
he would move to the back.
But wouldn't he stay where he's
If he
at?
passes it, if he passes escape, he stays where he's at. If he has to make a second roll and he stays in, he moves to the back.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he would
So
move.
if you pass escape, you stay where you are.
Okay.
If you have to make a repair roll, if you pass that, you move to the back. If you fail a repair roll, you're out.
Okay. Burton is within his escape, so he's go to the next guy.
Yep.
Goffin's within his escape.
Hmm.
Marlin is over his. I mean, the dice shows 7, and he needs 5, so we would then do trouble for him. And he is a
Yep.
C driver, so he would need 9 or less.
Hmm.
And he gets an 11, so he would be out of the race.
He would be out. Yep.
Larson needs a 5, and he gets a 5, so he stays.
Mm-hmm.
Ruderman needs 8 or less, and he gets 6, so he stays.
Mm-hmm.
Elliott needs 9, and he got a 7, so he stays. Chris needs an 8, and he got 10. So then it doesn't say that you're an A, B, C, D, or an E driver, so I'm guessing it's just E if it's not marked.
Oh, it should have a trophy on it or something. It doesn't have a pit crew rating?
No. It has a fast pit rating, yeah, but it doesn't have a trophy.
No, but a pit crew grade. Nothing
no,
there.
It has no A, B,
Rob,
C.
that's slacker.
It doesn't have an
Rob's
A, B,
a slacker.
C, D, or E, so that, I guess, means that for the
Give me an E.
We'll give you an A. You need 11 or less, and you stay where you stay in the race, but you go to the back of the pack.
Okay, I'm in the back. I can take it.
Keith Avalon. He passes his escape. He got 3. He needed 6 or less.
Cool.
Okay. Tyler Reddick failed his escape. And he is an E driver. So in the first, he needs 7 or less, and he gets a 10, so he is out. Jeff Green is an 8, but he got 10, and he is a D grade.
Mm-hmm.
And he just passes that, so that means that he's in the back of the pack.
Yep.
Okay. Ricky Craven. He passes his escape, so he stays where he's at. Steve Parks gets an 8, so he stays where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
Darla needed an 8, and she got 6. She stays where she's at.
Mm-hmm.
D. Scott has a 10, and he got 7, so he stays where he's at. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has 7, but he has an 11. And being that he is A, he needs an 11 or less to stay in, and he does. So he moves to the back of the pack. Yeah. Okay. All right. Kenny Schrader needs an 8 or less, and he gets a 9. And he is a D, so he would need 8 or less, and he passes, so he goes to the back. Four for Jeremy Mayfield. He passes his escape.
Did Jeremy Mayfield already do it? I thought he was closer to the front.
He got no. That's Jamie McMurray. That's in the front, and that is confusing at times. Garrett Smiley, he failed. He needed a 8, and he got an 11, and he is a C driver. He needs a 9 or less, and he passes that, so he goes to the back.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay, Mike Skinner. He needed a 6, but he got a 7, and he is a D driver, so he needs an 8 or less, and he gets a 9, so he is out. Okay. Dylan needs an 8, and he got a 7, so he's fine. Ross Chasen, he needed a 10 or less, and he got a 9, and so he is fine. So what do we do about all these holes that we have?
Okay, well, you have 3 drivers or more collected, so now it is a 2-turn caution. And with all the holes, you slide all the drivers forward.
Okay.
And then starting with the first one that was collected, they go in the first open spot and you fill them all the way back in.
Okay. Well, I know it. Okay.
So basically, the last one will be the last driver in a line. So start from the end of your pile, the opposite
So that
end,
would be,
empty spaces.
that means that there's only 39 drivers left. These other ones
Yep.
here were the ones that failed their checks, and that's 4
Right,
of
and
them,
they're out.
and they're out. And that also means that we would only have 39 drivers left, and then we would roll for the next quality check.
Yep. And so now the next quality check, here's a pop quiz.
Mm-hmm.
You roll problem for the middle group.
Problem for the middle group. Okay.
Problem for the middle group. Now you're going to get out your problem finder, and you're
Yep.
going to go to the driver finder, and you're going to roll the red and the white, and you're going to find out which driver has the problem.
Okay. The problem finder is, we read the red dice first, so that would be 15, and that says cut tire causes wreck on.
No. You got to find the driver first. Driver first. That's why you're doing the driver finder first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
this would be, so that would be so that would be driver number 1 odd in the middle group.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be Elliot Sadler.
And now you roll to find out what his problem is.
Okay.
Yep.
So that would be at 13. It says multiple problems, unable to continue.
He's out of the race.
Oh.
So 13's unlucky 13. That's a really bad roll.
That means Sadler would be out. Does that mean that you have to then move everybody forward?
Now, since it's middle group, for that group, you slide everybody forward in that group.
Okay. So
then there will be an empty space at the bottom of that group.
Right.
And then from the next group, you're going to roll a gas pedal check, starting with the first driver until you get enough that in the group above. That's filling the gap.
Okay. So basically, you only need to roll? Well, you would have to still roll because some of at least the red and the white. So.
And I've always gotten the habit of rolling all 3 of them, just so that way I'm
Yeah.
always rolling all 3. You know.
So,
yeah.
That means that Austin Dillon will move forward, and then
everyone in the back group will slide forward.
Right.
Yep.
You don't.
And that's filling the gap.
You don't roll for that position, or is that one of those?
No, because everybody just moves forward.
Okay.
Everybody in a group, everybody moves forward to fill empty spaces. Then you roll to fill from the next group behind them. Bottom group, there's no one in behind them, so there's no rolling after that. But within a group, you always slide cars forward, so that way all the empty spaces are at the back of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you look at the problems, the problem finder, like say we're going to look at 5, 6.
Okay.
and it says lost engine, out of race, yellow flag.
Right.
If the problem calls for a yellow flag, you don't fill the gap. You just slide everybody up because it's everybody coming up behind the pace car, slowing down. There's no passing. So if the problem calls for a yellow flag, then you just slide everybody up.
Okay.
But as long as no yellow flag results, you fill the gap.
Well, what happens? Here's a question. What happens if
Mm-hmm.
by sliding everybody? What do you do with the? Say that was a middle group person. You just
Yep.
would slide everybody, even in the bottom group, and you wouldn't roll for it then.
Nope, you don't roll. If it has a yellow, if it has a caution, then
You-
you just take the first driver in the bottom group,
Right.
slide them up into the middle.
Okay.
Yep. So you don't roll at all if it's a caution. Yep.
But if it were a trouble or a problem, you would afterwards, after they're solved.
As long as there's no caution.
Yeah.
As long as there's no caution. If there are gaps in the field, you fill the gap, but if there's a yellow flag, then you just simply slide everybody forward. I got no video or sound. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I still see you.
Yeah, you blinked for a smidge. Yeah, you blinked for just a smidge. You're all right. Cool. Yeah, as long as there's no caution, you fill the gap. The second a yellow flag comes out, that's when you just slide everybody forward.
I think for a while what I'm going to do is just do 15 races. I mean, 15 turns, and to get the feel of it before I actually do like a complete 40 or 50 game race. And I'm going to do just like about 10. Try doing like 10 or 20 of those 15 lap races.
Yeah, just short races is fine. Just get the hang of it.
Just to get the hang of it. Because
yeah, that'd be good.
The way I look at it, it has you pitting like on the 7th lap, the 17th lap, and then in the big ones, it would be, I think the next thing after that would be what? Yeah, the 27th. 27th.
Every 7 lap. Yeah, every 7 lap. Yep.
As a pit. So, and
every once in a while I'll miss a pit because I'll sit there and I'll be rolling and I'm flying and I'm moving through this thing, and I'll get to like the 8 lap or the 9 lap before I realize that nobody pitted.
Shit.
So I just pit right then. I don't worry about redacting or changing everything.
Right.
I just move the pit back 2 laps, and that's where it happens.
It would be too much to go back and redact unless you one of those guys that calculates every move, and nobody's got time for that.
Not that in depth, no.
I'm sorry, I'm not a NASCAR
this is a fun game.
I know it is.
Yeah, I'm not a NASCAR fan. I'm not a NASCAR fan. This is a fun game.
I have watched NASCAR, but for me, if I'm watching,
I have as well.
I have watched NASCAR, but if I'm sitting on a chair and I'm watching NASCAR and I'm watching the Daytona 500, 20 minutes after the race starts, I'm and then
I generally will be until close to the end.
Yeah, that's me too.
Okay. Let's go over a couple of things. If you are doing quality checks, like you're running control in a middle group, and you get to a driver, and you roll triples, that driver has a problem.
Right.
So you do the problem finder. Yep. Okay. You knew that. Cool. All right.
Right.
And if you're doing a problem like for the top group here, if you roll doubles, it's the race leader.
Right. I noticed that.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. Just to make sure on that. Okay. Yep.
So what happens?
It sounds like you got the hang of it enough, man. You're doing pretty good with it, dude. You're doing pretty good.
So basically, if you roll the triples one, and it's like that top group or whatever.
Or trip 2s, trip 3s, trip 4s, trip 5s, trip 6s. Any set of triples.
Then you would roll again to figure out which driver in that
Nope.
group would is
Nope.
affected.
The driver that was making that check that rolls the triples, he's the one with the problem. You go straight to finding out what the problem is.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't have to identify him because that's the driver that rolled the
Okay.
problem.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and I did notice. I did notice, like that one person said on the rare uh, result charts on the super and the
Right.
super. There is the idea that the driver dies.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I haven't read that yet. Where? Okay, it's got to be on 13 or something. Where is it? Super rare 13.
Um.
Yeah, super rare results 13. Horrific wreck. Driver dies. Holy crap, Keith. That's dark, dude. I love it. That's dark.
Join
Wow.
Earnhardt. Join Earnhardt.
Oh, I hate Unlucky 13. I hate Justin Wilson. I hate Unlucky 13. Oh man.
You're dead.
Wow.
Crashing the wall in
Wow.
turn 3.
And you still got to roll to find out who it is. You roll one die. One is the leader, two is the top group, 3, 4 middle, 5, 6 bottom, and then use the driver finder right here.
Yeah.
Wow. Driver dies. Holy crap. That ever happens, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to have to order a new set of cards. I'm tearing that card up because he won't ever be able to be used again. He's dead. Wow. That's dark, Keith. Wow. I love it. That's dark.
Does that mean? Well,
I'm so glad I'm a part of this hobby.
it's what? Yeah, but what? I mean, if that's the 2019, that sucks. That means you have to get rid of the whole 2019 set because it's incomplete.
Now you just order another set because you got to rip that sucker up. He's gone. You can't do him in 20. You can't do him in 21. You just got to order an extra set with him in it, but you got to have a set with that card torn up. Got to be accurate. It's, wow.
Put them in a.
Wow.
And you know what you should do? Get a. I don't know if you could find one, but get a black baggie. Put all your ripped up dead guys in it.
Draw a couple of flowers on it, a little cross, R.I.P. Yeah. Wow. This.
God, that's funny.
Wow. Nah, Phil, it sounds like you really got it going, dude. It sounds like you got it figured out pretty good.
Hey, I don't know if you've watched any of my videos, but I need to tell Rob this, but I'm giving away.
Oh, I saw about the board.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
about
saw
the board,
that.
and I saw that
Yep.
D. Scott Howard won. So I'm gonna need.
Oh, that's cool.
I need his address so that I can get send him out that board.
I don't know. I don't know how to get in contact with him. Tell you the truth.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna.
I just look for him on the in the chat rooms and everything. If Rob doesn't have it, and let him know that he won, and
Yeah.
or maybe see if Rob can announce it on his channel also.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
maybe
whenever we have the
D. Scott Howard will seek you out.
Whenever we do the next All-Star race, I'll mention something to that I need to Rob that I need to make announcement. So yeah.
That's cool.
And did you make the All-Star game?
To tell you the truth, I have no idea. I watched race 1, and then we got all the way up to race 7, and I was like, how the heck did we get to 7? It was only like 2 or 3 days. And then I watched the end of race 8, and I haven't seen anything else. So I have no idea what I did in the season. No clue. I know I did really well in race 8, so I was up around 270 when people were just topping 3, so I was coming back in it, but
Well,
I couldn't tell you where I finished.
I know that the race that I won, I was leader from pole to pole.
You won a race.
Yeah,
Wire to wire. Awesome, dude.
I won
Good
race
job.
5, and I was a pole to pole winner. So I
Awesome, man.
my starting position was 1, and my final
Hmm.
position was 1. The thing though is that on four, lap 14 he had a heat quality check, and
Yeah.
I know I didn't have the heat quality, and
Hmm.
I got lucky and nobody passed that quality check. Otherwise, I would have been out of the
That's
race.
good. Yeah,
So yeah,
that's good.
but I did tell Rob that I'm gonna add my daughter I want to add my daughter to season 3,
That's cool.
and
That's cool.
I already know the qualities I want for her. I want her to have uh, was it heat, star, and smart, and I want her to have an asterisk on smart because she just graduated from college and that.
That's cool.
And
That's cool.
is doesn't he have like 12 points that's divided between pit and escape?
Fast pit and escape. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and I told
And
him.
I would really do either. I would really do 8 and 4, and pick which one you think is more important. Because if you do 6 and 6, it's less than half for both of them. You got to have one of them at 8, so that way you're over half. You stand better than 50% chance on one of the two checks. You got to have an 8 and a 4.
Oh, really?
And four leaves you enough of a chance on the other one that you're not on automatic not going to get it.
Yeah.
So that's why
Well,
I did eight and
I
four. I did 8 for escape, so that way if there was trouble or something, I'd probably be able to get out of the way. Fast pit is whatever it is.
I thought I did 7 and 5 myself on mine.
And 7 and 5, 7 you still get a little bit more than half.
Yeah.
8 just gives you that much more than half, but 7 is still a little bit more than
Yeah.
50%.
Well,
But yeah,
I'll
you
have,
don't want to do the 6 and 6 because then both of them are less than 50.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I chose the idea of heat because she's a girl, you
Hmm.
know. And
Yep.
then star, I always see her as my star, my kind of my bright shining light right now. And
Yep.
like I said, smart is the only quality of the 3 that I gave a asterisk to because she got just finished graduate.
Well, that's like I told Rob,
Graduate.
and he didn't do it for me this season, but I think you ought to do it for me and D. Scott Howard for the next season. Is league champions for a season, they get an extra quality, or they get a
Oh,
star attached to a quality that they already have.
right, and
Eh,
they get a star for whichever quality they want that they already have,
Right. Like, say
or
I've got skill, I want a star next to skill.
they
That kind
have
of thing.
don't or they have maybe an option to have 4 traits instead of 3.
Right. Hmm. Or take a brake pedal. But they ought to get a little something for being a league champion.
Right. Well,
In
and
my humble opinion.
well, what he does need to go back and do is he needs to give car grades to all the drivers.
Oh yeah, if they don't have, of course, if he wasn't pitting, because I think he hit it all this year, so he didn't need that.
Yeah.
So I would think for all of us, like in your races that you're doing or something,
Yeah.
maybe give everybody an even D, so that way we don't have a terrible pit crew, or
Right.
maybe even an E, but
Yeah.
definitely not an A, B, or a C because we're kind of upstarts.
Well, like for like you and D. Scott Howard, I'd probably give a C grade pit crew because you're
Maybe give us a D because we have the championships under our belts and
well
everyone else an E kind of thing.
that's my thing is you guys would be
Hmm.
C's and the other ones you have would be like D's or E's.
Yeah, yeah.
So uh,
Well, it is after 10:30, Philip. I'm going to go ahead and jet, dude.
okay, you take
Yeah, you
care.
have any more questions at all? Anything else you want to go over, man?
No, I just kind of wanted a little practice here and there. And like I said,
Okay.
if you happen to see me on, just And I've been putting my StreamYard link in my banners or whatever, and I'll periodically show them and say, hey, if you want to come on, and if you see I'm making a mistake or something, I'm not doing something right, just feel free to jump in and say, hey, this isn't right or that's not right, so that I know what I'm doing wrong.
But I don't like doing that and correcting on the spot. If you've got any questions and you see them out there, or Rob or somebody else throw it out there, hey, am I doing this right? And they'll give a quick,
Oh,
yeah,
I know
you
that,
got
right.
it, or do this different.
Yeah.
I don't like doing that though. I don't like being like the rules
And
lawyer kind of thing.
I think, in all honesty, I think I like Rob's pedal to the metal more than I do the dual function.
That's a good modification. I like it. And I'm going to tell you what. A lot of the things that Rob does,
Yeah.
a lot of the things that Rob does are nowhere to be seen in this book. Nowhere.
Yeah.
However, that being said, he does it consistently and he does it every time. He gets
Right.
good results. He's having fun doing it.
Right.
And that's the cool thing with these games. I mean, modding a game doesn't mean that it's incomplete and doesn't mean that it needs improvement. It just means that I see something I just want to do different, and we gamers are allowed to do that. And Rob has a lot of fun. I love watching Rob do it, man. He's a very lively personality, and I enjoy watching him do races.
I don't know if you. I mean, I don't know if you caught it, but what I want to do is I want to do a racing and a fighting together simultaneously, where I'm doing two projects at once, and the outcome of one can determine what's happening in the other, and vice versa. Where with red, white, and blue, you have the red and blue dice. So the easiest modification to say is, okay, whatever the last roll for the red and blue dice is going to be used in the next round of the boxing, if you're playing boxing. So this would determine ring ship for round 2. And the other thing is the other modification I made is, if you get pedal to the metal and you do a thing like Dave Little where you go 8 guys, the thing is you get what I call heavy salvo in Glory Days boxing, where whoever wins the ring ship gets that many unopposed actions. But the thing is if the first time they whiff, that's it. They don't get any more.
Yeah.
They just go on. Same. The other thing is if they clinch, same thing. Then you're done. And the other thing is, if it goes to where an opponent is 15 punches ahead, there's an automatic TKO check, and if he passes, then he could continue however many salvos that he has. But each salvo after that would require a TKO check to make sure that he's not dead.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But those are some of the things that when I was looking at it, it's well, how would you do 2 events together to where one outcome affects the other outcome? But for Glory Days and racing, it just, those things came to me because it was just simple.
No, and that would be a neat way to do it, just to see how it turned out. That would be cool.
Well, I'll let you go. You have a good day. Who are you picking for the Super Bowl?
I don't have a horse in this race. I really have no clue. I don't follow pro football at all, and I don't have a horse in this race. Browns, they came this close this year. They really did, but I thought we had it in the last week or 3 months, but we just fell flat. We always got next year. Go Cleveland.
The thing is the XFL starts next Saturday.
It's pro football.
Huh?
It's pro football.
Well, and I don't know if you saw that, if I created a game where I did a revamp of of NFL football and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
I'm due to get Wonelli college football. Okay, and those are the
Yeah.
rules. Those are the rules that I will implement when I start doing the Wonelli college football. But I'm going to play a few games normal to figure it out first, and then I'm going to do my Wonelli, you know, revamped NFL type stuff.
Right. Right.
But I think Keith needs to add a YRL set for next year. Combine. No, I'm dead serious. You think I'm joking? I'm dead
And it's
serious.
weird. I mean, no, but it's weird that as far as I know, Rob's is the only one out there. I mean, you've got the
Right,
NASCAR sets he puts out, you've got the Scram that he puts out, but as far as I know, as far as on YouTube,
right,
as far as content, Rob's is the only one I've ever seen as far as making like a
right.
community set or something like that. And it's neat. It really is. It's
Yeah,
fun. It
I
is.
like it. I don't have. I only have. I have season one, but I only have half the cards with TV drivers, so I can't make all of them TV. Do TV. Whichever ones are missing, I can't make them TV drivers.
Right. I've only got one thing to ask of you, Keith. I want your basketball game. I want your basketball game that you were talking about last year. I want it. I want 85, 86. I want Celtics and Lakers. I want Bird and Johnson. I want your basketball game so badly. I'm looking forward to it. APBA, Strat, they got good basketball games. They take 2.5 hours to play.
But Strat doesn't. Strat can't discontinued their basketball.
Did they?
I thought either Strat or Appa did recently.
Probably APA. Because
Yeah.
Strat came out with an 18-19 set. I think I have it. No, 16-17. I've got 16-17. Yeah, Strat
Well,
basketball, I've got 95 and 6, 99 and double aught, and 16-17.
well, I know that I got Wonelli. I should be getting that this week. I've got a package from you that I'm supposed to be getting this week,
Supposed to be showing up Monday, is what it's looking by
and
tracking it. Looks like it's going to show up Monday.
on the 10th, Strat comes out. The Strat sets go out, so I will be
Yep.
getting
Yep.
that like the second or third week. And but the thing about it is when I get the stuff, if it comes, say it comes uh, Monday, well, I'm at work Monday. I'm not going to be able to
Right.
go. I'm not going to be able to go to my landlord's until Saturday to check it out.
You allowed to receive stuff for well, yeah, good luck with that.
Well,
It's going to go wherever it's going now because, and this is a little blah, and it's going to be quick. It's hard to get Strat customer service to change anything once it's done. So it's going to go.
well,
I was thinking, like, if you can receive stuff at work, have it shipped to work, maybe, but you're not going to be able to change it at this point. If they've got an
oh,
address, they're going to leave it.
actually, you know what I did? It's funny that you mentioned that because what happened is I accidentally had it sent to my parents' house.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and I caught it, and it's like, wait a minute, this is the wrong address. So I sent them an email saying that my address had changed and that this is the address I needed to send my Strat baseball to, and they changed it.
Wow. Wish they'd done
Yeah,
that for me last year.
yeah, but
Spent 230. I spent $230 with them with tax money, and they wouldn't lift a finger.
yeah,
They would not lift a finger.
I
Yeah.
want to get the 2018 set. I want to get
Mm,
the 1990 A and B sets, and then I want to get the Negro League set.
yeah. Yeah, and you can probably see behind me. I've got, where are they? Over here. I have got 61 80s Diamond A and B. 80. I've got the old time sets all the way from 1905 up to 76. Negro Leagues, Hall of Fames, 91, 82, and 15.
Yeah,
15 because I don't know if we're ever going to get around to it or not, but with that C squared baseball league Chris Esposito and I were doing,
yeah,
it's the 2015 set, and if we ever get around to finishing it, I want to be able to do that. So that's why I still have it.
but I mean, I'm like you. I enjoy the games. I enjoy the fans. I
Hmm.
just want to teach people something new, something different.
And that's what this community is about.
That's
Not only
what it's
playing the
about.
games, but helping new hobbyists have an example to learn how to play the game.
Right, exactly. I
Yep.
mean, yeah, we mess up, big deal.
Yeah.
But
Failure is a great teacher.
well, and that would be like saying adding for next year that like the uh, Astros get when they're playing strat baseball that they get to steal signs 3 times in a games, meaning that if they don't like the manager doesn't like the outcome, they can re-roll and get a different outcome.
What you do is you have an Astrodome playing board and install a little buzzer with a push button underneath home plate. So every time they're getting ready to do an at bat, push the button.
Yeah.
Oh, change up coming.
Oh, wait a minute. We don't like to play. Wait a minute. That's a home run.
That,
Not this time.
that is such a shame, man. I'll tell you what, that is such a shame. It is,
But with
man.
regards to that, I know that Tony La Russa was supposedly in that scandal too, and everybody says, "Well, what about yanking their 2017 World Series win?" Well, the way I look at it is, if you're going to do it with the Astros, you also have to do it with the Cardinals and the A's because La Russa was a manager for them.
Mm-hmm.
So any teams where he was a manager and they were World Series champions, you'd have to pull those
If they do
champions.
it because of the buzzer, they don't. If they do it because it's Tony La Russa, which I don't see them doing it because his name is Tony La Russa. But if
Yeah.
they do it because of the buzzer, then it's only for the instance where that was done. If that was done. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's coming out that he supposedly stole signs too. So I mean,
Oh, everybody steals signs.
yeah.
Everybody steals signs.
Steal this one.
Yeah. It's not cheating unless you get caught. It's not
Right.
cheating unless you get caught. Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love the games, but I have to be careful because I'm trying to. I find myself like like I like Strat and well I like well not like Strat but I like baseball and I
Mm-hmm.
bought the 2019 set and it's like I made a mistake that I should have checked to see if I had enough money in my bank to pay my bills first before I bought it. So I'm
I make that mistake all the time. As a matter of fact, sometimes I make that decision in spite of how much money I have in my
yeah.
bank account.
Yeah. I do want to get the 2020 Scram set
Yeah.
when I can afford it. I'm not gonna go out and get it right now, but I do want to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my next game to get, I want to get the History Maker Golf.
Yeah. I've got for red, white, and blue racing, and I've had it since last year. I've got Pioneers. I've got 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. As I don't have any tabletop purchases coming up as far as sports in the near future, but I got a couple of board games that I've got my eyes on. So
Yeah, I did find out because I got my boards from the UPS store. I found out that they're the
mm-hmm.
largest size of a board or largest size that they can laminate is 11 by 17.
Yeah, I saw you say that. Yeah.
And it's
And if you've got something bigger, you could always cut it in half or something and laminate two smaller half pieces or something and then butt them together kind of thing.
yeah. And what I want to do is I want to, and I have to cut out my things for the deep drive baseball. But what I want to do is I want to laminate those cards put them on the 80 stock, you know, and or I
I'm
well
going to tell you what. If you're going to put them on 80 stock, just put them on 110 stock and don't worry about laminating them
they
because I
don't
play payoff pitch and inside pitch in the 110.
they don't do
And
110. 80 is the
at,
largest that UPS uses.
ask them if you can bring the paper in and they print it out. Say,
They
hey,
might be
I
able
know
to do
you
that.
only go up to 80 counts business card stock. I really want these printed out on 110. If I bring you
Yeah.
110, will you print these files out on this paper?
Well,
I'm
I
willing to
know
bet they'll
that.
do it. They may charge you a smidge more just
Yeah,
because they're not making the paper, but they'll do it.
yeah.
Any smart business
Yeah.
would make money.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking to find out. I'm looking to find out. I can't wait to see who wins our bet. I think I'm going to lose that one, but hey, it's the Bengals. Hey, you know they're not smart.
That's okay. You're smarter than my Browns, I think.
Hey, Rob doesn't know this, and I should probably put this on mute. I'll have to, and I'm not going to say it live here because if I do, Rob would get upset. But I plan on sending him a game sometime soon, and
Mm-hmm.
he has to make a promise to me that he plays it at least once. And it's it's a play.com game. That's all I'll say. it's and
Roller
it's not
derby.
no, and it's something that he's not very fond of.
Ah. Soccer?
No, because he has soccer. He has
Oh,
soccer
he
class.
does? Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. He does, yeah. Yeah.
No, this is something that
Okay.
I mean, you have it here in America, but there's not a big following of it. I
Yeah.
mean, usually you think of college, and but you don't really think of a pro teams playing this too much. Even though I know that is a pro league on it.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go. You take care, and guys, we both hope that you roll the 1s and 66s. You get the TKOs. Go to extras if you have to win a baseball game, and with red, white, and blue. Put the pedal to the metal and get that pole position. Good night, guys.
See you, Philip. Take care, guys.
Take care.